before we go to the full club swing, let's practice something called the one-arm swing here. So you will basically rest the club on the shoulder here. This is to practice the timing here. So when your body, so from this point, you go wind up here, wind up, and you will throw the club here. But if the body turns too much early, go here, and then release, this happens here. So the club goes that way. If you let the club go too early, then this happens here. And you will not be able to shift the weight this way that much. So you have to find the right timing. So, and swing like this. But again, if it's too late, then this happens. So this is kind of your swing. So we need to find the good timing here. Okay. So just hold it this way. It'll be easier. Yeah. Like, and then rest it here, and always connect the end of the backswing to downswing. So from here, give this wind up and then throw. And then in doing that, try to find the good timing. Remember, we are controlling the end of the club head, right? Mm-hmm. They make the wind up a bit more rhythmic here. So here, using the, again, bring the hip up, yeah. Let go. Using the shoulder wind up, throw the club. Now both hands, the same thing. Rest the club on your shoulder. Yeah. So in doing that, you must have, again, you have control the timing. So the club responds early, you have good acceleration to hit the ball, instead of body turning too much, and then later quickly fold it here. So you must have a bit extended posture on this side.
Can I see how it feels to do it wrong? Let's exaggerate wrong.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, so even when you turn a lot, intentionally try to do that, you lose balance.
Yes.
Yeah, so your goal is to deliver the club head to where the ball is, and then have enough acceleration here, and then hit the ball, right? So instead of from here, throwing it up here, you are controlling this motion and then deliver the club head where the ball is. Yes. Now let's do a regular swing. Swing back and forth. Swing back and forth continuously, as if you are swinging a rope. And then make sure you have a good connection here, so that when you start the downswing, you have a reasonably good control here. So go up here, and then throw the club, and then throw the club instead of. So when this goes too much, you lose the control here. Your body goes like this, because you want to start the motion with the body too much. So have the good control. And then feel the motion of the club head. Feel the club head motion. Swing, throw. So now, as you repeat this, you can reduce the size of backswing a little bit. So as long as the club goes about this much here, this is good enough. Currently we are going about this much here. It's a bit too much. So try to go here, but still using the momentum of the club. Let the club go, and then have a little bit of tension here, and have an active slow down here. Then the club will stop about here. Currently we are going this much here. That means you don't have active deceleration here. So you don't stop it up here, stop about here. So using the deceleration and then finally stop about here. So this is the goal. So now then, again, it's a matter of image. So now your goal is you want to bring the color head about here, as if there's a switch here. You turn this and then hit the death switch, but no more than that. So your end goal of the color motion about here. So try to maintain that color position. Still it's going too much. Yeah. So again, your image, in your image, you are going to start the color about here. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, so then you have to maintain the tension here. So it doesn't have to be intentional overriding, fighting the color motion, but you have to have good tension and then slow down here. It doesn't go, you don't lose this.
But I didn't think you wanted tension. I was
No, you still,
tension.
because you have to slow down, you still have tension.
Little bit.
But when we use the orange whip, when I say minimize the bending, that means you don't try to start this motion while the end is going this way. But you have to wait until this is completed. Just with the deceleration and then finish it, instead of try to quickly go down. That was the issue. But now in this case, you're going too far down here. Then usually your initial action in the downswing is body is moving this way. But if you maintain this reasonable here, then just the throw. So you have to maintain this tension. As you swing back and forth, at the end, feel the tension inside the body. So it'll give you active deceleration that you need. So again, so with that, you should be able to control the cleavage position. So it's got to be about here instead of down.
And when you say tension, it's not in the wrist, it's core. And
Everything. The whole system has to have a reasonable tension to nicely slow down. Yes. Let go. Yes. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yes, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So as long as at the end you have a little bit of resistance here to slow this down, then on the way down it's a lot easier to control this motion. But you let it go, then your body has to.
If I let it go, I can't feel where the club head is anymore. I lose knowledge in space
Yeah,
where this
yeah.
is.
So because you already experienced this with the rope, but when you pay attention to the motion of the end of the device, so now this is club head, then as you swing this back and forth, you know where the end of the club head is here. Here, here, here.
Yeah, that's great for timing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Very subtle,
Yeah.
small, subtle things. Good.
Then you will have better timing and better control of the club early on. Yes. Yes. Then from the beginning, now you're more throwing the sword instead of from here, just try to throw the club head up. So it's a subtle, but this makes the quality of the swing better, and you have better control. Yeah. Now the overall motion is quite smooth.
But I feel my core tighter.
Yeah, you feel tension here. So now using the whole system, and then decelerate here, the change direction, and then let it go. Yeah. If everyone does the homework like him, then it'll be really easy. So we have all the basics already done, and then work with these subtle things.
Megan or Mary, do you have any questions of Dr. Kwan's?
Yeah, if you have any
I'm
questions.
loving this. This is great.
But Megan didn't get a chance to see what led up to this.
Hmm.
You know, the basic, the kettlebell or the bell.
Yeah. So initially we tried to make his body motion.
Get the right
Okay.
So once he gets used to the rhythm, then we can add these things. But in the last session, his body was moving quite a
I
bit.
remember the way you used to try to move your hips, and it's like so different now. Oh my gosh. You can just visually see it.
Yeah. So today's keyword is end-centric perspective, right? So then for that, because everything we do is basically to promote the cleavage motion, then you have to use your body to generate good speed without putting too much effort. Right? So you have to use your body well, efficiently and effectively, and then create good curved motion. So for that, we have to control this timing and the magnitude of motion, the tension in the system. Yeah.
Can I break from this for just a second and ask my rowing question again? Okay, so I just want to be sure we're on the right track. So,
Go all the way here, in the view.
so
You can do it here. Yeah.
So, on the company that makes the rower and others say the right rowing technique, biomechanically, they say is get into this, I think it's catch position, and your body's leaning forward. They say you push first with your legs.
Yes.
And then
Use this.
But if you use it, a Sherman idea, then it would be don't push with your legs first. When you're coming up to the catch position, your back should be turning, and then push.
No. Remember, in the golf swing, we always use the legs first, the big muscles first. So here, in the shunt rhythm, you're basically, because the reason why you're shifting is to actually let this leg become the foundation. And then so that you can use these big muscles when you push. So you are creating the situation where you can use these big muscles first. They use this muscle and then turn the body and then add the smaller one, the same thing. So in rowing, not only rowing, skating, in any motion, you will see this rule here. First, they use the big muscles here, and they start the motion, and then add smaller motion, and then at the end, the arms here.
But before you push off, you're leaning forward.
Yes.
Then you push off.
But that shift is to enable the left leg now become the main leg here.
Okay.
So when you're moving laterally here, that you need that you have to shift and then let the left leg become the foundation. But when you're going this way here, again the whole body is moving that way. Even from the beginning, because you're already in the catch position, here you can use the legs, so you don't have to do anything. So push and then add these small muscles. So actually, the rowing machine is a good tool to practice this.
think of it.
And then in skating, you will see that you skate and then turn, and then with this you have the weight on the right side here. Then your right leg is the foundation. Using that kick this way, and then now you allow this leg become the foundation. Doing that push. So we have two legs connected to the pelvis. So when we move, always we use one side as the foundation, supporting the body. The other side does the necessary gesture. So in walking, when the right leg is on the right foot is on the ground, so this is supporting the body, and then you will turn the pelvis, and then take the step in. But when this is supporting the body, then this moves here. So this serves as the foundation. This moves. When we swing, the same thing. If we have to turn this way, first you have to let the right leg become the foundation. Then use these big muscles to have good push to the ground. And then when you turn this way, then you have to let this side do that. But in order to do that, you have to have shift and then put the force on the left side and then push. Yeah. So always we're using one leg as the foundation, supporting the body, and the other leg to make necessary movement. In ballet, if you move like this, then again the left leg is supporting your body, and the pelvis is moving with the right leg, and then make all these gestures. So always in human motion, what we see is that even though we have both here, we seldom use both symmetrically, unless you have something like this. But even in jumping, sometimes you have the running jump like this, that you're not using both symmetrically. So always one side is mainly interacting with the ground, to support your body. the other side makes that same movement. So that's the idea. Okay. So again, you have to allow one leg to become the foundation, right?
Yep, got it.
Now again, club swing.
We have one more unrelated topic. The data that you have collected is really, really valuable. I don't think you put it to work yet. How are you planning to use all this data? You have hundreds of students and all the video.
I've used it to understand what the good golf swing is. So I have this big picture built based on the data. Although I don't use it outside this lab, but
Because I think
that's the basis of the golf biomechanics classes that I do.
Because no one, who else has that data? Teachers all over the U.S.
So in our database now we have over 400 golfers.
And that is really
Yeah,
valuable.
this will keep. Now at this pace, we'll have at least a year. If we don't do any study, just do the service, then we can get at least 60, 70 players going through the swing analysis. So we keep adding data. Yeah, at some point, we will go back and then have a series of global analysis that will probably get more information. But
Because now when you teach your methodology and someone questions it and says, no, I think you should be shallowing and the left knee should come this way and you should shallow that way, they don't have the data to support that. They might have a couple of PGA pros who do that, but you have the massive amount of data.
so pretty much most of the things I say is backed up by my data. So that's one advantage. Yeah.
Because it is a unique approach. The fact that the two legs work as pistons up and down, that teaching is unique,
Yeah.
but it's based on your experience.
As a biomechanist, I know the key principles in human motion. So then try to develop methodology around that. So that's why I'm doing this. And then I use a lot of continuous motion because that's how you organize your entire body motion. If you work on a specific aspect, these are all interrelated. If you want to fix something, it will affect others. So that the best way is to develop good overall fundamental body rhythm so that you can address all these at once.
Good, and then one more question. Because I'm a methodology person, I created a methodology for my business. If you had a Quan methodology, I could see a book or a video or online where you can step 1, step 2, step 3, but you don't go to step 4 unless you can do these things properly. If you go to step 4, you'd be, I see methodically, click, 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 and you see videos of people, and then, are you thinking of that?
Yeah, that's my goal, to come up with a sort of systematic approach.
And it would start with people just no club or anything, just shifting.
Yeah, usually with no club first.
Yeah, and then the kettlebell.
Yeah.
Left,
Some
and then a
simple
little bit of
device.
Shern, but you can't graduate to the next until you can do the Shern, right? Anyway, okay.
Yeah. So again, swing continuously back and forth, and then again, the key is to pay attention to the motion of the end of the club, and then you have to have good control overall swing S. And then the goal is always to promote the good club head motion. Your body will move to create good club head motion. Yes. And then connect the backswing to downswing a bit better. Still I see the tendency of a whip, wang. Although you shortened the backswing here, but still, essentially it's a wang. So wang. And then in the downswing, try to really throw the hands and the club. Okay. So you have the feel of, instead of body turning like crazy, you should be able to throw. So when you control these well and then you really use the deceleration in the backswing well, then what happens is and then you can really throw. So although I'm a lot weaker than you, smaller than you, and my fingers are having arthritis here, but at least I can make the sound here. So. Because you are developing this coiling, the tension here, and then you are pushing it in the downswing. So you should really be able to throw in the downswing. So all the blood moves toward your fingers. So it's not just about go up and then swing like this, but rather, and then let it go. So here, another subtle issue is that when you start downswing, you shift. So that shift should be done a bit earlier. So remember, we have when you have good reverse pivot pusher here, using the right leg pusher here, and then toward the end you're already here. Then in the downswing by kicking the ground with the left leg and then throw. But go here and then on the way down, if you try to shift and then swing, because your left leg is not ready to support your body, so you'll not be able to swing that hard. So, and then going to this position. Before you complete the backswing, they're already here so that your left knee should be bent at the end of the backswing. Yeah.
That's the sure.
Yeah. So currently, when you push, it's more going this way here, push and up, and then slowly moving this way and then try to swing here. But if you push, you have to create this motion and then also this motion here. Push, that will give you this shift motion during the backswing. Then you will be able to use the left. So push and then to this position already. And then by the downswing by kicking and then let it go. So push and so push and come to this position here during the backswing. Again, push and shift to this position and then let it go. So this recentering should be done a bit earlier so that you can really use your left leg as the foundation in the downswing. So by kicking the ground and then throw the ground. Again. And also on the way up, instead of lifting your hands up here, just mainly use the shoulder turn and then throw around. If you lift your hands and then you also on the way down, you use your arms here. So as you turn, using the body turn, shoulder turn, and then throw the club around your body.
On plane. On the plane.
You remember earlier initially when I showed the swing, you had a little bit tendency of lifting the club in the backswing. So instead of going up here, that's the reason why you go a bit too much here, because your hands are too high. But if you use the body turn here, and then let the club go around your body, then you're going to more this position. So this is tighter here. So then on the way down, you can use the body motion and throw the club instead of using the arms. So currently, the downswing plane is slightly inward because you tend to pull the arms down. So in the backswing, again, if you give enough speed to the club here, then it'll go here, okay, along the shoulder line and here, instead of lifting. So turn, and then so you have good turn, and then let it go.
In my mind, I envision that board right here. And I have to keep this underneath that board on plane.
So in the backswing, when you lift your arms a little bit, then your arms move a bit early. So instead, using the body turn and then throw. Using the body turn and throw and then let the club go. If you use a bit flatter pad here, the club cannot go all the way down here because it's going more this way instead of going down this way. So turn around to this position here and then let it go. And then when you throw here, when you throw this up, and then it's going here, early on in the downswing, you're basically throwing the club using this motion, body motion here, and then throw instead of using the arms here. So you have to use this really well at the beginning of the downswing. From the wind up position here, this action here, and throw. But that's why you need to maintain good tension in the trunk here. So turn and wind up, create the coil, and then from there, in one action, let it go to the target.
And you should be able to do what you just said too if I'm club head centric and I'm feeling more tension.
So if the hands go a bit higher here, then the club drops this much. If the club just follows along the shoulder line here, going this way, then it will automatically stop it. You cannot, because you cannot go this far. As long as your hands are on the right side of the head, it will stop about here. But if you go high up, then this happens. It's about here. So as you swing in the backswing, try to bring the hands slightly above your right shoulder. So if you put your left hand underneath your elbow here, and then when you turn, and maintain that motion here. Yeah. If you go that way, then your arm is here. Okay. About here.
Not up here.
Not up there. Because that's the swing plane. The elbow motion follows the swing plane here. Yes, about there.
And that's the plane.
Yeah. Then the club, so go to that position, then the club is here, and it will stop about here. Mm-hmm. But if the hands go high up, then you can certainly have this motion. So again, using in the backswing, using the shoulder turn and let it go around, and then also let it go around. And then pay attention to the motion of the club head. And also in that one, instead of just try to go to that posture, just to throw the club, then let the club head go, yes, then automatically you go to that posture. Yes. So using the club motion, let the club go and then to go to that position instead of you intentionally try to reach that position.
You throw it back there and you throw it?
Yeah. Because again, it's a club head centric perspective. So let the club head go. Yep. Then motion is a lot simpler. And now in the downswing, don't try to shift. I think you are shifting too much. So the recentering during the backswing is done because you have this nice reverse pivot posture. So you don't have to worry about further shifting. So here, and then when you're going to this recentering position, from here, just try to turn by using the left leg instead of from here, try to shift more. Okay? So
if this motion's done correct, I've already shifted.
Yeah. You have a reverse pivot posture here. From here, just to try to, instead of, you see, your body always coming this way here, but instead here, from here, by kicking the ground and just a turn.
Yeah. Okay.
That's enough already, because you have good reverse pivot posture. Just to kick it and let it go. Yeah. Because you try to shift, you're losing the timing. So you cannot throw like I do. Just turn around, swing, swing. The hands are going a bit higher. And then connect the backswing to downswing. Ooh, let it go. BJ, sing. BJ, sing. Yeah. That way, you use your arms less, and then mainly using these muscles here. Okay, let's have a short break. I'm tired. I'm just watching him swing that many times. Yeah, that's a good feel here.
And don't put it there, throw it there.
Yeah. So it's important to have the body ready at the target. If your body develops good tension here, using that in one action, from here to the ball, in one action, just to throw. But you see about tension slightly moving the body. Yeah. With that, you lose the timing. So you see, at the top, your back is toward the target, right? So from this position, in one action, simply try to swing. Just by turning around. By turning around from there, turning around, yes, let it go.
Turn around the chest.
Yeah, so from here, just to turn around instead of shifting to the left too much. Yes, like that. Yes.
I'm used to going.
Yeah, you always have tendency of sliding a little bit.
Because I was taught that you have the left hip start. That's why you're a Mythbuster.
That's a bit too much. So sometimes, initially try to induce some good movement pattern that I emphasize this excessive shift. But as you get used to this, then by using the repeated motion, you start limiting this lateral motion, confining in this space. Let it go. Let it go. So that has a lot of emphasis has to come from the leg instead of excessively sliding pelvis. Now, and also when you use the right arm, so what I see here, the pattern is you go up here, you turn the body and then try to do this. Instead, still maintain the closed position from here, just to throw in one action instead of try to do this. So always keep the back toward the target when you start the downswing. From there, yes, throw in one action. One action throw. Have good gaze control. Oh, let's do this. So let's do the rope here. Using your right hand only. So when you hold the rope, then remove the left arm here. Just hold the rope with the right hand here. So go here. Throw. Okay, you let the rope go out here, and they have a long leverage here instead of. And then you need to really develop that action of throwing. The body is turning too early. So from here, from wind up position, from here, let it go. So near the impact position, your chest does not open that much. Because you start from here to this position, to this, instead of. So from the closed position, just throw. Throw, yes. Now let's use the left arm only. Similar motion here, but when you use the left side here, from the closed position, you're starting from here, right? And then throw, and by the time you reach the impact position, again, shoulder is fairly aligned toward the target, slightly open, almost aligned toward the target. You are going to this position here. So you have to throw here, instead of turning a lot here. So, throw, throw, throw. And then throw the rope toward me, not this way. Yes. Inward. Inward. Yes.
Where you going? Go that way?
Yeah. When I say inward, that means you are throwing this way here. No. You keep throwing this way. So if your plane is inward, then I will say inward. Good. Good. Inward. Good. Good. Now, right arm only. Inward. Good. Inward. Good. Good. Now, both hands. And then try to throw toward me. Yes. Let it go. Yes. Yes. So now you're developing the sense of throwing here. But in order to throw, you have to accelerate early on. That way you can throw. So using the body, almost like a, and then throw, and throw instead of.
I can tell you, there's one of the teachers who's really a big name teacher. He says his data shows 40%, 20%. This is impact. That's why I've been doing that forever.
So that posture, if that posture is coming from early action here, and then this is the outcome here, it's okay. But if you don't put a lot of effort here, and the intention to try to come to this position, and then try to do something here, it's exaggerated. And then, so the key is you're accelerating early on, and using the speed, you're letting the cleaver go and hit the ball, right? So this is the motion you want to generate here. A lot should happen here. And actually, the torque you generate using the ground becomes maximum around here. And then using this, let it go. And then when the club passes the vertical position, then your body starts slowing down already. But while you're letting your arms and the club keep going. So here, essentially what's happening is this determines what happens here, instead of try to put a lot of effort here. After impact, you put effort, that's no use, right? So again, so one arm, the left arm only, okay? Left arm only, and then try to throw the rope toward me. Again, set the image, and then you have to throw the rope toward me. Yes. Yes, now you really have throwing action. Very good. Right arm only. Throw, it's going inward. Yeah, throw, yes. Both. Try to throw, yes. Throw, yes. Oh, yes, now you're throwing a lot better.
Wow.
Now you are not using body excessively, rather you're really throwing.
Here's the water.
So he's developing,
it's right here.
really developing this throwing action now.
Wow.
So it's always a matter of good intention and the imaging.
1140.
Throwing means you develop good speed and then let go, right? So for that, you have to develop speed here, early on here, and then let it go.
So in my mind, someone said, oh, you want to hit a late bush over here, and you want to have your hips open at impact, and that's what caused me to waste all this space, and I was just focusing on trying to get it done in here.
Yeah, you're putting effort there, too late.
But now you said it's up in here where all the effort is, right in here.
The maximum speed of the climate occurs near the impact.
Right, but effort is
Yeah.
here.
So in order to generate maximum speed, then you have to accelerate on the way down. So you have to actually put effort there for the acceleration. But if you put more effort later in the follow through, then that means you are just the person is already left, and then you try to do something.
Yes. I was reminded, Megan Dr. Kwan has a couple of really good analogies that are helpful. Getting up to the top and then not rushing the downswing. He's got a great analogy. Little child, your little baby on the swing. You take the baby up on the swing, and then you gradually let her go. You don't go.
As it's coming up and you try to push, then somebody gets hurt.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right. But that image, students need.
So a lot of golfers actually wasting energy and force, try to fight the device.
Wow.
But let it go all the way, and then mature backswing. You just develop tension in the muscle by using the deceleration, and then let it go instead of just quickly try to go down.
Or trying to pull back an arrow and then shove the arrow forward. No, you pull back the arrow and you just let it go.
Yep. Develop tension and then let it go. So this is
Tension.
developing tension here, and then throw, as you do with the rope. You're throwing, developing quick acceleration, then throw instead of drag all the way.
Drag. I'm dragging it. I'm dragging it.
So what I see in modern golf is a lot of people, the backswing is not good enough. So the body is not ready. They fail to prepare the body in the backswing. So then on the way down, the arms have to do something. And then excessive arm action here, pulling it in. And even if there are some bad examples, going to this position here. Hold it, but this is the acceleration phase. Your main goal is to accelerate enough and then have a large speed here, right? So then this is acceleration phase with this just throwing using the inertia of the device here instead of you try to manipulate here. So,
one more thing for Megan's benefit, I'd like you to explain. Why do you teach the importance of a crazy fast backswing? Explain that.
so when you have a crazy backswing, again, your body naturally tries to slow it down when you have faster motion. Your body always tries to slow down. That means that the motion is going this way, but you have to develop torque in the opposite direction. That torque is coming from the ground, by using the ground. So if you intend to actively slow this down, you automatically start using the ground well. Okay? So then you have active deceleration. And then when you have faster motion, no time for unwanted motion here. It will cut down all the unnecessary movements. So all you do is just the faster backswing here, and then reverse the direction, and then faster downswing. The swing motion becomes really simple. So now again, let's use one arm at a time, and then try to throw on the way down. Throw. Just inward. Yes. Inward slightly. Yes. 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 Now right. Throw. Throw. Good. It's a bit inward. Yes. Now both. Hold it as long as possible, and then throw, throw, throw. Yes. Now, in order to throw, you could cut off unnecessary pelvis motion in the downswing, because now your goal is to accelerate here and then throw. Then who cares about this or shifting this way? Okay.
So thinking of throw.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Now with the club, have the similar feel here. You are throwing the club head. So now it's a bit heavier. So the tempo will be a bit slower, but still the same idea. It's inward. Throw slightly inward. Yes, that's good. Throw. Throw. So as you start throwing, then automatically you simplify your body motion. So your goal is to have active motion and then let the club go here instead of doing all sorts of things here, shifting this.
Throw.
And then that acceleration should be done in the downswing in the early phase of the downswing, right? This is still coming inward. So
it's over the top.
yeah. Yes. Throw. Yes, your body motion is less simpler. Still, you tend to have a bit exaggerated body motion, but now the body motion is less simpler because your goal is to throw the club along this plane here, and then just cut down all the unnecessary movements there. So this is the powerful thing about this continuous swing. And when you have good imaging and you have a certain goal here, then when you try to achieve that goal, automatically your body motion reorganizes. So we do have the ability to organize the body motion automatically, as long as you expose yourself to the right stimulus. But in this case, obviously, you're imaging, and your goal of throwing. That throwing is not coming from this action here, actually from this action here. From the closed position, from the closed position here, this action gives a good throw, not this one here. So here, if you are in this back end of the backswing position here, right, your pelvis is closed here. This action, this gives acceleration instead of this one here. So you're not putting the right hip intentionally in front, but rather from here, you're opening this left side from the closed position with this action. That's why using the right leg in the backswing is important, because at the beginning, you're using the right leg to do that. Throw, yes. Throw is still start in order. Oh, yes. Swing. So you are basically shaping the swing like that. So if you repeat this again and again, you will be able to gradually change your swing pattern and make swing motion a lot simpler. You're using your body only the way you need, instead of having a lot of unnecessary movements.
Can I ask you to give Megan a little tip for all quantum students? The trigger motion. That's been really helpful.
Yeah.
It's been really helpful for Mary too.
So when I use the so-called two-step swing drills, so you will take up to 2 steps. The stage 1 is keeping the feet together from this position. Throw the club toward the target, and then take a step, let it go, take a step, and let it go. So always starting with the trigger motion. The purpose of trigger is, obviously, it will set the swing plane up front here. And also, with this trigger motion, your body is actively, rhythmically moving here. From here, it's easy to generate active backswing. So the trigger serves as a sort of initial visualization of your swing plane, and then also active backswing. This is stage 1. Stage 2, you will eliminate the first step here. So with the narrow stance here, still the trigger motion, then take only this step. Stage 3, your regular stance. So now we will do a stage 3. Let's do a stage 3, regular stance. This time again, you lifted the arm. Again, try to bring it more to the shoulder line. Yes. Again, have a bit more time at the top. Throw the club instead of here, pulling it in. Throw. Yes. Again, stage 3. Yes, now that plane is good in the downswing. So by using the trigger motion, you can always promote active backswing. That's the idea. And then eventually, you have to eliminate the trigger motion. But still, you should be able to do the backswing with the active right leg action.
So his students and Mary and everyone I've taught, in the real world, you're about to hit a ball. Your practice swing is the trigger. Your real swing,
You have a similar
same
body action.
feel in your head. I feel the trigger.
Okay.
So that pre-shot routine has been really helpful for me and others.
Yeah.
Really
So,
helpful.
if you summarize, what was the key point today?
End the club. Got to focus on the end of the club and don't lose it.
So maintain the control at the top, right? And then on the way down,
On the way down, throw.
have a good acceleration there,
Swish, throw
and
it.
then develop good speed here, and then you are simply letting it go instead of trying to do something on this side, right?
Let
So
it-
for that you have to prepare your body so that you can act early on, and then using that let it go. That means a lot of things are happening from the closed position to the neutral position here. Between these, a lot of things will happen instead of after this turn. So as you can see, if you turn this way and then try to pull this down, these don't work together.
Yeah.
So they are not working together. So the lower body is not really helping the upper body motion. But from here, and then and then open.
Oh, the backswing position has to be just thrown.
Yeah. And then more.
Thrown to you.
Yeah, if you maintain this elbow position here, and then keep going this way, then it will go along the shoulder line here, slide over the shoulder line.
Let go.
Yeah. But if you try to lift the arms, then it goes a bit too steep. Then you can have really big backswing here. But when you let it go this way, you cannot have too big a backswing.
And then I can maintain control of
Yeah.
the club here.
More than anything, you have to maintain the control so that you can connect the backswing to downswing. When you connect, then you can accelerate early, and then we can really throw. But if you lose this, then your body will turn without much effort here. Body turns too early. Then later try to do this. That's why you have an inward swing plane. So these are all connected.
Got it. Anything else? What else did I miss? Mega and Mary did.
You have homework for the next 3 or 4 months. The next time, let's do the swing analysis.
Okay, and then what do I get out of that? I've seen it online, you put all the little suction cups on people, and then.
So it's like when you go to hospital, the doctors can make the diagnosis by simply listening or touching here, whatever. But you get the MRI scan.
And then I swing with those little nodules, and then we look at it on the computer.
And then it will also measure the ground direction forces. So you will see how well you're using the ground and how much speed you generate.
And then after that's done, do we actually swing the club too?
Yeah. So at the end of the feedback session, we'll have about an hour reprogramming as well. So if I see something major in the data, we can address those. But sometimes the eyes can only see so much, right? So generally, if you have sort of a pleasing swing, then at least you passed right that level. But then we need the in-depth analysis. There's something we have to deal with, something we cannot see with the eyes, naked eyes. So that's the swing analysis.
Yes. Thank you so much, Dr.
But
Kwan.
you have changed your swing completely.
You. That's impressive too.